This week's rescue of 11-year-old Cub Scout Brennan Hawkins, lost in the rugged mountains of Utah, raises the important issue of hiking and camping safety. Now that summer is in full swing, it's a good time to review some safety tips and equipment that just might save a camper's life. Tom Brown Jr. is an outdoor survival guide and the founder of the Trekker School. He's with us this morning. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning.
You say that even if you're going out with your family on a short hike for 40 minutes or an hour or so, you should always carry some sort of survival kit. What should be in it?
Absolutely. You know, especially with kids, to put together some little survival pack that they can wear on their back or a belt bag with water, a couple of, granola bars, trail mix, that kind of thing, maybe a signaling mirror if the child is old enough, matches, anything that the child can use if they get caught out overnight.
And the other thing that you really emphasize is if you're getting ready to go out on some sort of an outing, you need to be aware of the area you're going to. Explain what that means.
Absolutely. Most people, they get into a trail or a hiking area and they have no idea the topography or the roads that are around. And I always suggest to people, look at a map, know the direction of the nearest town, the major highways, and especially the trail systems. So if you do get turned around, you might be able to hike out if you can walk a straight line.
And this next tip, I think, is kind of common sense, but on the other hand, you get so focused on where you're hiking and where, the objective you're trying to reach. You say, tell the kids to look behind them.
Absolutely. So many tracking cases where I've recovered the child, the post-tracking interview, they said, well, the trail didn't look the same when I came back. That mountain wasn't there, that grove of trees. Well, yes, it was. It just looks differently upon the return trip. So what I have the kids do is look behind them, and that way they know what the trail is going to look like on their return trip.
What's the most common way kids get lost?
They get sidetracked. They go off the trail, they see something, a raccoon or a salamander, and that leads them to something else, and all of a sudden they're all turned around, they don't know where they are. So they have to stay aware of their position, and it's hard to get that ingrained into a child, but they can be trained.
Yeah. When you're out with your kids, and especially I would say in higher elevations or the weather's a little dicey, you make sure those kids have lots of clothes on.
I say make sure they're overdressed. If they have to take a coat off or something and wrap it around their waist, that's fine, but a person can freeze to death at 50 degrees if it's raining and if it's windy, so we got to make sure our kids have enough clothes.
And if you do get lost, you can stuff old leaves and pine needles, that sort of stuff, inside your clothes to stay warm, right?
Oh, absolutely. When we teach our children's classes, that's we call it the scarecrow game, where they stuff everything with that dead air space, whether it's grasses, pine needles, leaves, whatever's dead, they can fit in their clothes, their pants, and it'll trap all that body heat.
About all the time we have left is, if your kid gets lost, should they try to find their way out or should they stay put?
No, I'm an advocate of having them stay put because it just makes searchers' jobs a lot more difficult. If they can stay put and mark the position so searchers can find them, that's the best alternative. And
this situation with Brennan the other day, he was afraid to talk to the people who were searching for him. How do you let your kids know, hey, wave your hands, let those searchers know you're there?
That's called the boogeyman complex. It even happens to adults. You get so panic-stricken and at the verge of shock, you don't even answer to your own name.
Yeah, better get the kids ready. Tom Brown Jr., thanks so much. We sure appreciate it.
Thank you.